What is going on, y'all? This is Pay Me in Dividends, and today is May 15th, 2025. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I talk about high yield dividend investments. All right, so news. This is very, very big news. This is extremely important. So recently, just a couple days ago, NVDY announced that they are sending 18,000 of its top AI chips to Saudi Arabia. All right, there is a huge deal going on with big tech, U.S. big tech, and Saudi Arabia, and there's a company called Humane in Saudi Arabia that is investing tons and tons of dollars into U.S. big tech, and so this is what's going to catapult a lot of these big tech companies, and I want to show you guys how, as high yield investors, we can capitalize off of this. All right, so we can see that the announcement was made as part of a White House led trip to the Middle East that included President Trump and other top CEOs. All right, so there's a couple articles on this, right, that covered this, and we can just briefly go over it, and then I want to show you guys some ETFs that you can invest into in order to generate income, cash flow from these dividend ETFs. All right, so NVIDIA and Humane. NVIDIA is set to supply hundreds of thousands of AI chips to Humane over 5 years, starting with 18,000 chips. All right, and the goal is to power massive AI factories with significant energy capacity to establish Saudi as a global leader in AI and GPU cloud computing. All right, AMD is also doing a substantial collaboration with Humane, and they're also doing a huge share buyback, which we see reflected in the share price over the past week and over the past month. They're up 23%. All right, so I want to get straight into it. We're going to start off with YieldMax, and the first one I want to look at is CHPY, or CHPY, and this is a semiconductor option income ETF from YieldMax. Now, what I like about this one mostly is the fact that they actually hold the underlying assets. So we can see companies like Broadcom, we can see NVIDIA, Qualcomm, right? These are all huge tech companies, and this ETF holds all of these, and then they perform options on these companies, and then the option premium is paid out in the form of a dividend. This one is actually paid out on a weekly basis, and you can see the history of payouts since this ETF has been out. Now, keep in mind, this is a newer ETF, but again, you can really capitalize off of what's going on now globally with all of these AI chip deals, and you can get paid on a weekly basis. All right, so that's the first one. This one is probably my favorite on the list, and I'm really considering investing into CHPY. All right, now the next one is from YieldMax as well, and this one is GPTY. All right, this is an AI option income ETF, and same with this one. All right, this one also pays out on a weekly basis, and right here you can see the payouts. Now notice that the payouts do fluctuate, and the reason they fluctuate is because it's all about how the market is performing at that time and how much option premium that they are able to pay out. But you can see here the payouts have been pretty consistent. There's not much of a variance. It's all mostly in the 20-cent range. A couple of the payouts have been over 30 cents, but mostly in the 20-cent range. And if you go down here, you can see the holdings, right? So we have NVIDIA, we have Palantir, we have AMD, Broadcom, Tesla, Meta, Microsoft. These are all big companies, right? So these are both from YieldMax, and they're both going to pay you out on a weekly basis. So those are the first two, CHPY, CHPY, and GPTY from YieldMax. Now I want to move on to Roundhill ETFs, and the first one we're going to look at is PLTW. Now this is also a weekly paying ETF. The difference with this one is there's actually some leverage on this. All right, so we can see that this one is targeting enhanced returns corresponding to 120% of Palantir's weekly performance. Now just keep in mind that you're also going to get that on the downside as well. All right, now the current distribution rate is around 62%, and if we go down here, we can see the holdings is obviously Palantir, and all they're doing is they are performing options on this, and then they're paying you out the option premium on a weekly basis. All right, so that is PLTW, and I'm going to go over these pretty quickly because you guys can look up the ticker symbols and do a bit more research if this is something that you're considering on, you know, putting money into and investing. All right, so that is PLTW. The next one is NVDW, and this is based off of NVIDIA. Same idea as the Palantir ETF. You get some leverage. You get about 120% of NVIDIA's weekly performance, and of course they hold NVIDIA shares, and then they perform options on them. Right now it looks like they're paying around a 30% dividend yield, and this is paid out on a weekly basis, and you can see their historic payouts here. All right, these are newer ETFs, but they have been paying out consistently on a weekly basis since inception. All right, now the next one I want to look at is AIPI. Now AIPI has been out since, let's see if we can find the inception date here, June of 2024. So it's coming up on a year of history. All right, and you can see on their website it is very, very straight to the point. They own AI stocks, they write covered calls, and then they generate option premium, and then they pay out that premium as dividend income. Now this one is paid out on a monthly basis, and right here you can see the monthly payouts. It's typically over $1 a share, and it is paid out on a monthly basis, and right now it's generating around a 34% yield. Now another one I want to look at is AMDY from YieldMax. Now this one, if you zoom out, the ETF has not done well at all since inception. However, because of AMD's recent deal, AI deal, and also their share buyback program, they have really gone up recently over the past month, about 12%, about 11% over the past 5 days. All right, so this one is another one that you can be on the lookout for. Now it depends on what you want to do. You can either invest into one of these single stock companies, right, like AMDY, NVDW, or PLTW, or if you would like some diversification, CHPY, CHPY, right, the first two we went over, and GPTY. These have built-in diversification because they hold several different companies. Same thing with AIPI. If you look at their holdings, they have NVIDIA, they have Palantir, they have CrowdStrike, they have AMD. All right, they have a plethora of companies in their portfolio, and then all they're doing is they're writing options, they're generating that option premium, and then they're paying you out in the form of a dividend. Now, one of my favorites and one of my biggest holdings in my personal income portfolio is QQQI, and this right here is a NASDAQ 100 option ETF. Now this one, the yield is a bit lower than the other ones. It's still pretty good. It's about 14%, but you see with this one, if you zoom out, you're actually going to get share price appreciation as the market moves up, or if the market moves down, it's going to move down with the market as well, but you're going to get that monthly dividend yield. All right, so it depends on what you want, but just to go over, just to give you guys a summary of what we looked at, we have CHPY from YieldMax, CHPY. We have ticker symbol GPTY from YieldMax. Then we have the Palantir option income ETF that pays on a weekly basis from PLTW from Roundhill. Then we have NVDW, which tracks NVIDIA with some leverage and weekly pay. And then we have AIPI, which again has built-in diversification because they hold several different companies. And then of course you have AMDY. And last but not least, you have QQQI, which can provide you with that monthly income, and you can also get that potential share price appreciation. So these are the ones on my watch list. QQQI is currently in my portfolio, but I am considering adding one of these because I like the diversification that is already built in and that weekly pay. All right, so again, there was a big news that happened recently. A lot of business going on over in the Middle East right now, and this can really boost your dividend portfolio. It can offer growth, but it can also offer a lot of cash flow. I think that a lot of these companies are going to explode. We already know NVIDIA had an amazing run over the past couple years, and I think with all this news right now and all the deals with big US tech companies in the Middle East is really going to ignite these high yield dividend ETFs. All right, so again, Saudi Arabia made a huge move in the AI chip game, which could result in huge things for dividend investors. And I really just wanted to break down how this Saudi-U.S. chip deal could impact high yield dividend investors and really generate a lot of cash flow, even for people with smaller portfolios. All right, this is a complete game changer. Remember, years ago, people told you needed $1.5 million, $2.5 million in things like VU from Vanguard in order to retire. Now, all you need is a much smaller portfolio, maybe $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, and you can generate massive option premium income that can really surpass your 9-to-5 job if you chip away at it and you reinvest those dividends and you stay locked in, and you really just stay locked into current events and what's going on in the market. So you guys let me know in the comments, are you considering investing into any of these? Are you invested into any of these? And if I missed any important AI or semiconductor income ETFs, let me know in the comments. You guys have some conversation in the comments. Let each other know what you guys are investing in. And yeah, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, drop a like, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think. As always, I appreciate you stopping by the channel, and I will catch you in the next video.